Hey everybody, welcome to Gardening TLC. We are still at Tracy's house and we are going to be laying some brick edging today. Now we are going to use the bullet edging that you find at any box store out there. She already had it in the ground and we are going to actually pull it all up, reset the lines, put it in properly. If you want to learn the proper way to put it in, come along with me today. Let's go get this done. What the edging looks like right now. This is just the bullets that you buy at a box store, and as you can see here, they're not very straight, so we will be pulling these all up. And as I back out, you can see that the curves and the lines, they don't flow very smoothly. So whenever you're doing curves and you're laying an edging like this, whether it's brick, it's a natural trenched edge, or it's a concrete barrier that you're putting there, you want the lines to flow nice and smoothly with long curves so that it's easier to mow along and it's visually looks better. So we definitely want to make sure that this has some nice flowing curves in it. Right now it's just, I don't know, it doesn't really flow well, so we're going to recut those lines. So we'll pop all of these out and then I'll redraw the lines, and then the guys will start to core out the area. Place that we're going to reset are these wall bricks that they just set on the ground, and it's around the tree that used to be here, but there's no base underneath them. They're not butted up next to each other. It's not even a very good circle, so we're going to be fixing that as well. Step one, take the bricks out that are already there, or if you're starting from scratch, you still have to get the area prepped and ready to go. So our first thing was popping the bricks out. So we've done that. We've cleared the weeds. And now this is going to be a straight line because it's along the fence line. It's going to be 4.5 feet out from the fence. And we want to make sure that our line is straight. So when it's 84 feet long, how do I do that? Well, let's find out. So the first thing we did was we decided how far out from the fence is it going to be. We took our tape measure. We measured out 4.5 feet away from the fence. We put a stake in the ground and then tied a string around it. We went 30 feet that way, did another measure from the fence out 4.5 feet, and added a string from this end to that end to create a straight line. It is very easy to go crooked. So if you think you can eyeball it, I don't know. I've been doing it a long time and I can't eyeball it. It always ends up crooked or weaving in and out, and you don't get that nice, precise straight line. So we highly recommend that this is how you do it. As you can see here, we ran the tape measure from the edge of the fence out to here, 4 feet 6 inches, and then we drove a stake in the ground. I did the exact same thing right here. I measured from the fence over here, and then I tied a string around it, and now you can see the white string and how it's going to give me a straight line all the way down, and that way I don't have crooked lines. You can also see where we haven't done this part yet, but what they did was they cored this out. So they dug out about 3 inches of soil in the line where we're going to put the bricks, and then we started to put the gravel in. So let me show you what the gravel is that we use. Here in northern Illinois, this is what we use for the gravel to go underneath bases of things that we're building, whether it's brick, it's paver patios, we're laying concrete, laying asphalt. This is what we use. So this is called CA6, and it's a road gravel. It has anywhere from 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch rocks in it, and then the grit, or this part here that isn't rock, that's called the fines. And so what you do with this is you install it, get it a little bit wet, and then you tamp it in. So that is what we're using the tamper for. All right, so basically what we did was we took our sod cutter and we cut out 2 strips of grass right here and removed the sod. The bed started over here and we want it to be 4.5 feet wide. Then we did our string line. Now, what they did here was they hollowed out or cored out 3 inches more of the dirt so that they could put gravel in instead. So then they scooped the gravel into the trench. What they're doing is they're taking the bullets and they're laying them in a line along the string line. So go ahead, put one in. Show us how it's done. All right, so he's going to grab it. He's going to put it on top of the gravel. We have not tamped the gravel yet. We're actually going to use the brick and the tamper to tamp that gravel down to keep it in place. So he's going to tamp it down, and then he'll use the edge of the tamper to also make sure that it's in a straight line with the next one. Now, curves are a little bit different because you have to cut them to be back to back, but when you're doing a straight line, it's pretty easy. Now, when he's done with this, he'll do like 3 bricks in a row, and then he'll put a level on it to make sure that we're still level. When you are checking the level, is not only do you check the level on the top, but you check the level along the edge as well, and that also gives you that double assurance that you're making a straight line, because even with a string line you can be a little bit off, so a level is a beautiful thing. So see how he's doing the edge, and then he'll come back along and he'll do the top. And he's adjusting it just slightly as he goes to make sure that he stays in that straight line. Then he's coming along the top, moving it up and down, and making sure that that is also level. So both ways. This is the next area that we're gonna do, and as you can see, they're raking all of the mulch back from the edge. That way we don't waste the mulch, but we'll be able to get down to where the dirt is. Now you can see where these were. See, they just put them right on the ground with no anything underneath them. You can see the grass that was growing in between them. So we're gonna make this look absolutely gorgeous. All right, the next thing we did was we got a nice circle around this stump because it was this weird shape. So basically what we did was we found the center of where we wanted the circle to be, which ended up being right here on this stump where we put this line. So that was the center. And then we came 7 feet out with our tape measure, and then we just marked little polka dots all the way around, and we just kept coming 7 feet, 7 feet, and spun our tape measure around, and then we connected the dots. And so now we have a nice circle. Now what they're doing is they're coring it out so that they can put the gravel in it, and then we're gonna reset these bricks. Now we are making this smaller because the circle was such a weird shape. The other thing that we're doing is over here where all the daylilies and the iris are that we dug out, we're gonna redefine the line over here as well, because it was like, remember I talked about horseshoes and making curves that are really steep like this? One, it's not visually pretty, and two, it's hard to mow that. So, especially if you're on a riding mower. So we are gonna also soften the line up here of that as well. So you can see right here where that actually was. So we're gonna make a shallower curve, move it more towards me, kind of down here, and then we'll fill that in with gravel. Next thing I did was I did draw a line to create like an arc here. And so what I want is a long sweeping arc that goes into another long sweeping arc. That way, one, it's easier to mow, and two, it's easier for your eyes to look at it because it's not all crooked. And then what we'll do is we'll bring it down here and we'll transition it into the circle so that when the mower comes around, it just keeps going, just like that. Now we're back over here to the wall brick that we're using as edging, and as you can see, we have put them closer together. And so where you butt them up together is up here at the front, right here in this corner. A lot of times people think you butt them back there, but you don't. This is where you edge them and put them together. And then we are doing this in the circle all the way around. And what he's doing now is he's just repositioning them to make sure that they're where he wants them to be. And then we'll do a second measure. We took one of our big nails and we put it in the tree that we used as our center mark. Then we measured out the distance that we wanted every brick to be from that nail so that we keep the integrity of our circle, because it is just like doing a straight line. Losing the integrity of your circle when you try to eyeball it is the exact same thing. So see, he's going to go through and he's going to adjust them one way or the other based on where the end of that string is. And what he did was he tied a little knot on the end so that he would know where that is. And then when he's done, see, this thing will be a circle all the way around. He's got the edge in. Now he's going to go back behind the bricks and he's going to backfill them with gravel. So that way we've got some integrity behind the brick, helping to hold it in place. So he'll be shoveling that back behind the brick, because we don't plant anything right up on there, but it's one of the other things that you need to do to help hold things in place. He also had to cut the fabric, and now he's just kind of laying it back in place, and then we'll take the rock and we'll rake that back over on this side. Now, when we come up here to the corner, you can see how he came around the corner here. See, and then he just swung it up and around and then met it up at the fence. All right, so if we swing this around, here's the moment of truth. How straight is our line? Oh, that's pretty good. Also going to update over here. You can see where we're going to tie in right here, and we're going to swing it around in a nice arc here and then swing around over to the fence line. The guys right now are getting the gravel line in. When they're done with that, they'll start placing all of the edgers. Guys, check it out. First, we reset the bricks right here, made them level, pushed them together so that they had a nice arcing line to it. We put the bullets in a nice line all the way down, and then my favorite part that we recut was right here where we made an arc, because this was like a horseshoe before, and what we did was we just swung it out in a nice arc all the way around, backfilled it with dirt, and then Tracy will have to keep the grass seed watered. But see, now when you mow, check it out. See, your mower just comes right along this line, and visually it looks good as well. Also, I think the circle is perfect. I made sure that it was exactly 7 feet from the center of where we wanted it to come out. And so all of them butted together, put in the ground, all the same level. It looks so much neater and cleaned up. I love it. And then our last line that we did was here where we arced it out, did a nice little sweeping curve here down at the end, all the way to the fence. So all in all, I am so happy with the guys and the job that they did today. They were so awesome. It was hot out here today, and they just are troopers and just got this done. I hope this was helpful as far as what it takes to put edging in. It really isn't that hard. Make sure if you're doing a straight line, you put that string line up and you measure how far away it is from whatever it is that you're edging. Make sure you core out that dirt, get that gravel in there. That is so important to keep it level and to keep it in place. Tamp it in, backfill it, and make sure you pick a brick that you like. For me, I don't want all those mixed colors. I like solid colors because it's not supposed to be the star, but it is a big part of the look that you're going for. I love how this circle turned out. See, and even with inexpensive brick or even used brick, you can make it look good if you follow the steps to put it in properly. I hope this was helpful. I'm Michelle. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, you guys. Bye.